guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're here at one of my special filming spot location because guess what? We have something kind of all new from Kia. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Kia Carnival, but the all new part is this is the Kia Carnival Hybrid. But before we get into this fuel sipping, they don't call it a minivan, multi-purpose vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. So yes, Kia came out with the Carnival, replacing the Sedona, really trying to bring a non-minivan experience, not just from the style of it, but also to the way it drives. Now you could still get your Carnival with just the internal combustion engine. It's a V6. This is hybrid power, so this goes up directly against the Toyota Sienna. Now, yes, Honda still has the Odyssey, Chrysler still has the Pacifica, but really this one is gunning for the Toyota. Now, Kia is trying to take all of their special technology, their appointments to the interior, but also bring your family some major fuel savings. So what I want to find out is, did they get it right with this Carnival Hybrid, or should you just go with the tried and true Toyota Sienna? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, all Carnivals for 2025 get an updated, refreshed look. So starting at the front of the business, you'll notice how they kind of reshaped our headlight housing, making it look more like a Telluride or a Sorento. You have this multi-quad stack LED beam headlight setup. You'll notice the LED daytime running lamps, and these are also our turn signals. And then working our way down, I like the way they kept everything body colored, some dark, almost like a titanium gray, and some flat black. But this, like I said, this refresh is trying to get the Carnival to fall perfectly in alignment with the Telluride, the Sorento, the Sportage, the Kia K4, and the Kia K5. That very angular, interesting, unique setup to their headlights. Now, let me know how you feel about this refresh, especially when we compare it to the Toyota Sienna. Now, as we come across the front grille, because this is a SX Prestige trim, which is the top trim, you are gonna get a forward-facing camera. You get these chrome little accents, nothing too obnoxious on that tiger nose grille. More of that color body finish in the center, and then you're gonna have full functionality on the lower grille area. And you'll notice that we do have an intercooler because this hybrid has a turbocharged power plant. Now, you also get flanked on both sides your LED fog lamps, which are really nice. Nice to have that extra driving light, especially if you're in pitch darkness in the middle of the woods. But let me know what you think about the face of the Carnival. Like I said, they call it an MPV, multi-purpose vehicle, but let's just be honest, it's a minivan. As we rise up, you got the flat black on the Kia badge, same hood as previous model year, and then coming around the bend, of course, if we have some new style to the body, we gotta have some new wheels. So what you're gonna find on this SX Prestige, 19-inch wheels, gloss black, tires, all four corners are 235 on the width, 55 series sidewall. And one thing that I like that they did not do is they painted everything color matched around the fender opening. So really gives a nice finish look. Let me know your thoughts though on the wheels. I know some people might say they're busy, but you know what? I think it kind of helps with the image of making this look not like a minivan and more like what Kia calls a multi-purpose vehicle. Now coming down the side, you got that titanium gray metallic finish on your mirror caps, a little bit of gloss black, your turn signals, and we have 360-degree cameras. I like the way they black out the A-pillar. That definitely helps with the overall style. And then from the side, it's interesting how they proportion the vehicle. Normally on a minivan, the nose kind of slopes down, like on the Sienna, slopes down, it's very short overhangs. This, they really did try to make it look more like an SUV rather than a minivan. Up top, you are gonna have your raised roof rails in that dark titanium color. I also like the way there's not a bunch of gloss black around the frame openings of the windows, the side glass, just on the actual pillars. You have some aluminum style finish on the door handles, and then flat black and flat titanium on the lower door skirt extension. Now, when we come to the rear, they use a little bit of this ornamental design. I'm kind of digging it. It's a nice way to bring some style without just sticking things on, and it all flows into the trim. You'll notice how they hide the track for the side doors. And then, of course, swinging around back, you know this is gonna make me happy. No exposed wipers. So they were very smart. Have the wiper hidden underneath this long color match roof spoiler. You do have, this isn't your reverse camera, you do have a digital rear view mirror on this trim. So that's what that camera is for. Just like up front, they did a nice job with that waterfall style to the LED taillights. HEV, that's really the only way to tell that this is a hybrid vehicle. And then, of course, Carnival, just really clean on the back. Everything flat black. Working our way to the ground level. Minivans are fine not to have exposed exhaust. In my book, the bumper is really low. That's gonna help with getting things in and out. And you have that same flat black with that titanium finish. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what the heck is powering this hybrid. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on this Carnival. You do have hood struts underneath the hood. You'll notice that hybrid name badge on the engine cover. But what do we have going on? You have turbocharged power. So what you are looking at is a 1.6 liter turbocharged inline four paired to one electric motor. It's front wheel drive, 242 horsepower combined, 271 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. That's a traditional torque converter automatic transmission. It has a 1.2 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack, 0 to 60 in about 7.8 seconds, top speed 115 miles an hour. But here's where she's really gonna shine. 34 mpgs in the city, 31 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,985 pounds. Now, if you compare this to the Sienna, which we are, that has a naturally aspirated inline four, not a turbocharged, and it also uses a direct drive transmission, not a 6-speed automatic. But why don't we go ahead, let's turn this thing on and see it roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Kia Carnival SX Prestige. That means it's the top trim, and this is the hybrid, like I said. I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I have a lot of people I need to move around. I was going to buy an old school bus and paint it purple and call it the Purple People Eater, but I decided not to take that route. I feel like that's too much attention. But I'm curious about this Kia Carnival. How much is it? So like I said, top trim hybrid, MSRP right at $54,000. Let's see how it compares to the good old Sienna. To the door panels. I do like the way they got brave with some different colors. You have the navy blue with that sort of like off-white two-tone, titanium gray around the door handle. And that door handle opened up the door. It looks like one of those Texas-sized belt buckles that you see cowboys wear, of course, in the state of Texas. Soft material on the armrest. I'm just a little worried with how dirty that's going to get from your kids with their grubby hands. But it does look good when it's all clean. We got the Bose sound system, over 10 speakers. Door pocket is long, but not very wide. So I would keep it to whoppers. Don't go any larger than that. You can fit 6 whoppers and a can of Surge to wash it all down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, more of that two-tone. I like the way they did the stitching. There's that creamy off-white color. You do have a little bit of storage down here for a banana, so you don't have to put in your banana hammock. Slide on in, we get 2 12.3-inch screens. Base is 8-inch, we get 12-inch screens. Of course, all the usual goodies that you come to expect from Kia with all their different apps. And then when it comes to cameras, check it out. I'm gonna throw it in reverse. Clear as freaking day. You can even see Steven's Crosstrek Wilderness Edition over there. I can even do the 360. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And then all the other cameras out the wazoo. Much better than the Sienna when it comes to camera quality. We do have our dual climate control. I love the way they have this TFT display. Watch this. I hit navigation and it actually brings up all of the buttons that you'd find in your infotainment system down below, or you go back to AC. Really easy to use. Really like that easy style. USB-Cs, 2 of them. You do have a 12 volt. You could put a place right here. You got a place for your wireless charging. You could put a pocket-sized Bible here. Here's a little interesting fun fact. What is the most stolen book in the United States? Believe it or not, it's the Bible. Crazy. I guess eventually if they read it, maybe they learn something. I have no idea. But I just thought that was fascinating. This rotary dial, which actually looks pretty darn good, is going to control your 6-speed automatic. A little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy. We do have our drive mode selector button, 2 cup holders. Kia does a great key fob. Love the way it's got all this switch gear in the silver. We do have heated seats and ventilated seats. And I like the way it's real buttons, 2 stages of heated steering wheel. Of course, you got your Twinkie holder. And then open this up. That's where you're going to find a nice large area where you can put your sack of balls. Believe it or not, the number 2 stolen thing in the United States is golf balls. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why people are stealing Bibles and golf balls. I guess they like to play with their balls. I don't know. But you could put easily 36 stolen golf balls in there. Just don't get caught. You're going to look like an idiot. Seats, this is actual leather, so I want to thank all the cows that sacrificed their lives for this leather. 2-tone. Power controls for the passenger. Power controls for the driver. Plus, you do have the chauffeur seat. So if you have that one kid that loves to whine and like, I need more room. I need more room in the back seat. You can move the seat for him to shut him up. See, in my house, growing up, either I stopped crying or my dad would give me something to cry about. But I know today's a different day and age. We have to, give in to the kids and let them run the roost. But I guess that's the way it goes. Digital rear view mirror, really nice. And then you do have 2 standard size sunroofs. Actually, yeah, 2 standard size sunroofs. One here, and then I'll show you another one, I promise. Come over here, though, the business end. I got a blue steering wheel I want to show you. Come on over. All right, guys, driver's side, the business end. 2 memory seat settings. And one thing I want to point out is just how low that sill area is. It's easy, very easy to get in and out of this vehicle compared to an SUV. You got your full power seat controls. Ooh, I love that lower lumbar. Sitting here, I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm freaking swimming in space in here. I mean, it's very, very spacious. Steering wheel, it is blue, but I'm okay with it. I like the dark navy blue. Even the horn button, not looking too shabby. You got some silver on the switch gear, some flat black. You do have paddles to go up and down that 6-speed automatic, manual, tilting and telescoping wheel. And then guess what? You got another 12.3 inches of digital gauge cluster. You could scroll through a cornucopia of information in the center. You do have your drive modes, sport, smart. If you failed math, you could go into smart mode, feel good about yourself, and then eco mode. And then watch this. It does have those awesome blind spot cameras. I love those things. I wish all cars would have that. And there's a ginormous head-up display. But let's get into the mid-row and see why MPV might be a better choice over a minivan. All right, guys, mid-row time, and this is just another reason why MPV, or I'm just gonna say it, minivan, is the way to go. And yes, if you're wondering, Mazda did have an MPV. They were the first. I guess they should have trademarked it, and then they could have sued Kia for billions and billions and billions of dollars. But let's see what we got back here. You do have a nice solid pocket on the back, so you could put couple more books, hopefully books that people don't steal people just read and put back. But you also have the cargo net. I don't know what you're gonna put in there. Don't put a Ginsu knife, it's gonna rip right through that. You do have your USB-Cs on the back of the seat. There's the buttons for the chauffeur seat. 2 cup holders. Look at this. Home power source and a 12 volt. I like the way Kia brought everything up. A lot of the other brands have it down below. Your kids can't reach down there. They're strapped into their child seat. They're in a seat belt. It's good to have everything up top. And then there's even a Twinkie tray back there for them to have at least 4 Twinkies. I even like the way they do the sunshade. That way you don't have to go get that stick-on window tint that you lick like a stamp and you put on the, looks like crap. I don't know why people do that, but this is much nicer. We have our AC controls up top. And then you see this guy right here? This is for the camera. So you have that child safety camera where you could see what's going on with your kids so you don't have to turn around, and you could do that right on your infotainment system screen. I'll show you that when we go for a little drive. Now to move the seats, just hit me in my back. They do recline, and they recline quite a bit, which is nice. And then the seats do slide, even the mid-row. Want to see a magic trick? Voila! So you actually have a captain's chair set up, 2 more cup holders, and this is a place where you could put your Ouija board. See what's going on in the afterlife. And then, like I promised, you do have another sunroof back here, which is great as well. And it does open, which is really cool. But let's get to that 3rd row and see if your passengers are going to be happy to choose and be stuck back there. All right, guys, 3rd row time. Do you have to be a peasant to sit back here? Well, you can be, but you don't have to be. It's actually quite comfortable. The only thing is, for somebody as tall as I am, 6 feet tall, I'm really close to the headliner. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with it. Guess what? Battery pack is underneath us. So that 1.2 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack. The great news is everybody gets the leather seats. And the seats themselves are comfy. I also like the way I can move the seats back here, which are kind of nice as well, just to give me a little bit more space. Let's see if these recline, if I could get these to recline. Ooh, see now I feel much better. So you just got to recline it. The only problem is if you got junk back there, let's say you have boxes of eggs, unless they're hard boiled, you're going to make a freaking mess back there when you crack all the eggs, especially if you're getting ready to color them for Easter and you're dressed up as the Easter bunny. But I do have USB-Cs, and I do like the way they bring the sunshades all the way to the 3rd row. But why don't we go ahead? I can't get any more excited than I already am, but let's see. Let's get in that cargo area and see what you could haul in this minivan. All right, guys, cargo area time. Of course, you hit the button, you have nice electric assist. Now, thank God we're not comparing this to the Odyssey, because the Odyssey would actually kill it when it comes to cargo space. What you're looking at with that 3rd row up is basically right around 47 cubic feet of space. So you have 47 cubic feet of space with the 3rd row up. Let me show you some of the accessories we have back here. So of course you're gonna have your Twinkie tray. That's where you could put 2 boxes of Twinkies. You could fill this up with a 12-pack of Yoo-Hoo. And then on the passenger side is where you're gonna find not only a 12 volt, but also a home power source. So nice the way they have those 2 outlets right there. Now to get the 3rd row down, which first of all, like I said, one of the benefits of a minivan over an SUV is how low the bumper is. Very deep cargo floor, so you could get those taller items. But to get the seats down, it's actually quite simple. You're just gonna pull and then flip down. Pull and then flip down. You'll notice on the 3rd row, those are the USB-Cs I was talking about, and you can clearly see the 2-tone is brought throughout the whole vehicle, the dark navy blue and that creamy white. Now you're looking at 87 cubic feet of space. That's it. The mid-row is not removable, and you're gonna have a hard time folding those seats totally flat. So just like the Sienna, that's one of the negatives of both the Sienna and the Carnival, is that they lack cargo space compared to the Odyssey. The Odyssey has well over 143 cubic feet of space when you think about the magic seats that they have in the mid-row. But why don't we go ahead? This has that turbocharged power with the hybrid motor. Let's go take it for a spin and see how it goes on throttle. All right, guys, we're in this 2025 Kia Carnival Hybrid. I have it in sport mode, and right away, you are gonna get a little bit more buzzy sound in here from that 4-cylinder turbo. But the good news is the engine isn't always on once the battery gets to a certain level of charge capacity. Now, I do have it in sport mode, and right away I love the driving position in here. It definitely feels less minivan than the Toyota Sienna. And to some people, they just think it's a stretched out SUV. So that's a nice plus. They were able to work around that. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, it is a minivan. Call it whatever you want. And it's just one of those things that when you're driving, you get to have all of these big pluses. And what are some of those? Of course, one of the major pluses is going to be space. The other big plus compared to the Sienna is the technology in here. Having the blind spot camera, I could go in and we could look at our hybrid display, so I could actually bring up the hybrid display with the vehicle, showing you your battery charge, your fuel economy, all those goodies. Then I could go into passenger view. And here's where you could see, that's my hand right there, you could see what's going on with your kids. Especially if you have teenagers and you're taking them to the movies because they have a date, and you can keep an eye to make sure nobody's doing any hanky-panky and everybody's keeping their hands in their pockets like you instructed. But just nice to have that kind of technology. And what's great is you could actually leave it up and still have your navigation up there. We go back to home, all the weather, all those easy to do things, very simple through the infotainment system. Now, when it comes to storage, it's really good. I just feel like the Sienna is a little bit better with the way that they sculpted their center console. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the navigation. Actually, let me put on a hybrid while we're driving down the road. But you still got plenty of storage. And I know a lot of people don't like rotary dial transmission selectors. It does really clean up this space very, very well. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go into eco mode. And you can see how the graphics on our display register. You can see the electric motor in there, making a U-turn. This thing is so easy to drive, that's for sure. That's one of the biggest pluses, is how easy it is to drive. And it's just very well sorted. The seats in the Sienna are a little bit more comfortable, but they're not actual real leather, even on the top XLE trim. These have real leather seats, so I'm gonna assume, because they are real leather, that they're gonna need some time to break in, because they definitely feel a little bit more on the stiff side, especially if you're comparing it, like I said, to the seats in the Sienna. But going down the road, they did a great job on the sound deadening material, the acoustic windshield. You're not getting a lot of road noise, you're not getting a lot of wind noise. And I think you're gonna be happy with the overall feel of the size of this vehicle, especially if you haven't driven a vehicle this size already. It doesn't feel as large as what it is, which is good. You don't want it to feel too large, because then it's gonna be harder to park, harder to drive on tight streets, things like that. But going down the highway, this thing is gonna do the business, and you're gonna avoid having to go to any gas stations for quite a long time. That's why you wanna make sure you have everything stocked up with the Twinkies, the burgers, all of the food that your kids and family are gonna need and want, because you're not pulling over. That was one of the things that my dad said, is whenever we used to leave to go somewhere, is you better make sure you use the bathroom, because I'm not pulling over. But just really easy to drive. Let's see how on throttle is. On throttle, in eco mode. Feels quicker than a Sienna, but still not as quick as a Honda Odyssey. The Odyssey with the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6 is quicker than this. But like I said, when it comes to fuel economy, your Honda Odyssey is not even going to be able to touch this. Not at all. Pull up the navigation again. But like I said, it's just really, and look at that, you could even bring up the camera view. See, that's live. The camera view back there very easily, even having the navigation up. The only thing that this doesn't have is the camera where you, if the child is in a reverse facing seat, you won't be able to see their face. Chrysler with the Pacifica is the only one that has that technology for some reason. Maybe they have it patented or something, but getting to the AC controls, nice dual climate. You could operate the rear AC controls. You got plenty of connectivity, so hopefully they're pieces of technology don't die and then they wind up making your life a living hell. But let's go into sport mode here. I'm feeling a little frisky. On throttle, here we go. So with the 6-speed automatic transmission, I definitely like the way that this drives. You got emergency brake assist for people that don't know how to drive. But with the 6-speed automatic transmission, I do like the way this car behaves a lot more compared to the Sienna. And as you saw with the Kia DriveWise safety features, you have all that great safety tech, especially the emergency brake assist, to keep you and your family safe. But as you can see, it's really easy to drive, and I think you're gonna like the addition of that low down torque from the electric motor, especially from a dead stop. Let's go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts from the 6-speed automatic, so that's a big plus. And just really a comfortable driving experience in this Carnival. You do have paddles, like I said, to go up and down the 6-speed if you wanted to. But quite impressive what Kia has done, especially with how Honda still does not have a hybrid Odyssey yet. Very, very surprising on why they don't have one yet. But the good news is that this does definitely put up a good fight against the Toyota Sienna and the Chrysler Pacifica. It's just that I'd rather have a Sienna over a Pacifica. But we're gonna make a U-turn here. We're gonna go on throttle. And then we're gonna wrap this up. You ready? On throttle, here we go. So like I said, it's not gonna set the world on fire with the acceleration, but it's enough to get out of its own way. And if you want faster, my suggestion is go Honda Odyssey. But hopefully this has been a good overall review of this Kia Carnival. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right guys, another great day in so many ways here in sunny Florida. Definitely gotta thank everybody at Kia USA for allowing us to have access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Has Kia done it right when it comes to the minivan, or excuse me, like I said, what they call the multi-purpose vehicle. Have they done it better than the Sienna? Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give it up to the Flood Man. He's lifting weights. He's working out. He's going for that world body competition next year. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for getting swole. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.